my first thought is with Mr. Gary Jarvis is, what prompted this? And I asked council members, what is the procedure when we want to say we need to look at an ordinance or we need to explore it, expand it, and whatnot? And I haven't gotten a straight answer. I've asked, where's the problem lie in this ordinance? Because it's a big, broad brush. It's a 20-foot tall roller. And you're swiping out you're creating a lot of instinct and matting up a lot of things that may not have been the intent. I've heard everything from, it's a short-term rentals. Police department's pretty strong. They go over there, it's public complaint, it's a nuisance, they're arrested, and that's their spot. Then I've heard that it was, of course, the fireworks thing to start this. And I'm not going to pull punches, not my style, but I hope this is because somebody got their ego stepped on or whatnot, what prompted this. So after I had nothing but unsatisfied comments, when I said, okay, maybe I've missed something. Let me go to my city council, my city hall, and let me pull up the complaints. Let me call the code enforcement and say, have I had any problems? Comment was, we hadn't had a complaint since 1998. But then when I go get the records, I can't find that much that far back, so I grabbed 5 years. So I'm still on the point of, what brought all this up? And like I said, I've heard a lot of different stories. I haven't heard the truth because I believe I know the truth. But so I go, like any citizen, I believe would go, and I pull the complaints from the city. And in those complaints, these go back to 2012. 9/12 of 2012 to what appeared to be dates. I found something even a little questionable, like all of a sudden we just popped up with some complaints here and handwritten instructions. But so I go back, this is what I'm handed. I had my lawyer come up and pick it up because he was in the neighborhood and I love his kids. They're doing real good in college. Don't mind paying them. And he pulls it all up. We got legitimate complaints. We all know Barataria is the tough thing. That location of it in the Harbor District. But if you also remember, it was built with that knowledge. Hell, it's a commercial building. Your ordinance says primary use of a property. Hell, their use is commercial, primary use. That's a tough item. Man, I don't want to be on either side of that one. And that is really the exception. That is where the original complaint came from back in 12. Then we go on, I'm just going to go through them. That was a mixed use issue. It's a tough issue. I wish everybody could find satisfaction there. The next was the complaint in 2013. Hunters back on the bay. It wasn't me. I might have gone out there years ago, but it's a complaint, hunters in the bay. And I'll surrender this one and leave. The next one was a short-term rental issue. The next one was a short-term rental issue. The next one was at the Palms, and I'll say, in my reading of it, somebody should have been arrested. It was an ugly situation that did not the way it would be the way I operate. Then I come down, design question was, hey, what is the most, a customer called about engineering, do y'all have anything on sound? Wood versus, that's no. Next one is construction noise. They're starting too early. Now we're moving on up to 2015, a stereo store. Somebody had a stereo store at no regard, no sound booth, and was blaring all through the neighborhood. Next one is the helicopter. They juice those things up in the morning and get through the test. It's pretty loud. Then the next one was the airport. The next one was another helicopter. The next one was a complaint by a neighbor over our library. The library was getting their grass cut before 7 to beat the heat. And so they got a complaint against the library. And I noticed that got settled. I had the briefest comments over here. It just went away. But that's in 13, 15 here. We come down. One was a next door neighbor complaint. And that was music too loud. And I just named all of them to you. We got the one mixed use of Barataria. Then somehow something lands in my hand recently of 2 handwritten ones. This is where they go. They go to the police. Mr. Joe Forgiano either didn't leave records and nobody wanted the records about, so, the history I got is why he's here. The ordinance in 1990, Me and this neighbor here spent a lot of time together. And on opposite sides of it, but we were always amicable. It was workable. I hear comments that the DB meter, it takes a lot of education. If I was intelligent enough, I would take your phone, and the app is free. You can get a DB meter on your phone. Some people say they charge my employees because all my managers have it. Said it was $1.25. So, you know, technology's come a long ways. Your heavy base meters, etc. Okay, time is out. So what I'm asking, my question is, real quickly, I went in partners on this boardwalk, the Festive Marketplace, with the city. I have a stripe across my land. And I went in partners for a Festive Marketplace. And if it's on a personal level here and not based factually, which I can't find it, please provide it for me, then what are you saying? You don't want the partnership no more? Because I invested my money. I've since added decks and overlooked the boardwalk, etc. So that's what we all went into. I think this ordinance maybe has some target spots. I don't sense a whole lot of sincerity of what is the true mission here. I don't think there was a workshop. We're here to first reading. We can't even speak. Next time we get to speak, hey, I just want to know what prompted my tax dollars and other fellow people. I employ 300 plus, over 500 in this county. Well, what prompted this to take a sweeping brush and say, hey, short-term rentals, handle it. Residential, handle it. Division, handle it. But I went in partners with the city council, and I'm not sure if any of y'all were here when I signed my lease with the city. I invested in good faith with the city, and now the city doesn't want to be partners no more? Because this is detrimental. I deal with this ordinance in Grayton Beach. It's a bed and breakfast community. This would shut down, audible, just if you can hear it. That's somebody walking down the street could make a complaint. You don't have to be probably. I think you got a broad brush. I think your motives are maybe overlapping or not true, not sincere. But I think somebody better step back. And I ask you as a taxpayer and a citizen and employer of this community, and let's get down to what it really is here. And go from there. And thank you for your time. It's been a pretty good partnership.